The 5 laws making farming businesses in Kenya. These are the businesses that when you engage in them, all invest in them, you are guaranteed that you'll make a loss, no profit in it. And if you are lucky and make some profit, it's not that much significant. Actually, the best that you can make out of it, it's just breaking even. Now, these projects are paid from our clients who we have visited and have given us these feedbacks. Now, number 5 is the story gardens farming. This one you just left with the structures after you do the first harvest. There on you don't manage to get your returns. Also, the crops planted in this are just the vegetables which usually fetch low market prices. The fourth on the list is vertical farming. This technology promoted by most NGOs as a form of increasing production on areas where land is a challenge. At the end of the line doesn't match the cost that the farmer incurs in constructing these structures compared to the revenue that he or she gets after selling his or her produce doesn't match. The cost is super high, and what you find is that at the end of the line, farmers only do the first crop. From there henceforth, when you visit most of these farms, what you find are empty structures, empty greenhouses, empty shade nets with these structures. And what they say is that we couldn't manage or sustain the production of this vertical farm. It's just way expensive. The third one is hydroponic system. Hydroponic is simply a system that grows crop using water enriched with nutrients or nutrients in the liquid form as a medium instead of using the soil as the growing medium. Now, the cost of investment in hydroponics is super high. And the worst case is that the crops that can only be grown are limited to few. Especially they are only limited to vegetables, especially the spinach, indigenous vegetables, lettuce, and you find at most what you can go is just the fodder for the animals. If you compare, the cost doesn't match, and that's why most farmers are doing away with these hydroponic setups. Actually, I met another farmer last weekend who told me that he did away with the hydroponic system because he could not sustain it. The loss was super high. The second one is mushroom farming, and I know some farmers will completely disagree with me on this. Now, the cost of investment that you do in mushroom farming is high. It needs a lot of intensive care. It needs a lot of intensive management. Now, where this mushroom farming becomes a problem is when a farmer does his lot of investment on it without a guaranteed market, without knowing where he or she will sell his produce. So what happens? When they are ready to harvest, he doesn't have the market, and the only person who buys is the promoter who introduced him to the mushroom farming. Actually, who buys his produce is his fellow farmer but turned broker. And at the end of the time, you find that he cannot keep up with the cost. And that's why you've found most mushroom houses, they're just left empty. So if you don't have a market, if you don't have a ready market for mushroom farming, just don't dare to invest in it. Now, before we proceed, ensure that you follow us at FarmWorks Kenya. Ensure you check out our website, farmworks.co.ke, for more farming tips. And also ensure that you like, subscribe, and also share this video. This is the only way that we can help us to reach as many farmers as possible. On top of the list is organic farming. Organic farming is just super expensive. We did a trial on organic farming some time back around 2020, and we realized what people say is organic farming is actually not the organic farming. Remember, organic farming requires you not to use any insecticides or any pesticides to control these harmful insects. So what you end up with little high quality yield, as most of them are destroyed by the pests and diseases. When you get to the market does not consider whether your product are organic or inorganic. All they care is how much are you selling your produce. Number two, even those who love the organic produce, they also want to buy at low prices. And when you add your math, it doesn't make sense. Number one, you lose the time because they grow very, very slow in organic farming. Then also number two, the cost is very, very high. So unless you have a well-established network of organic consumers, don't try to rush to this one. This one, you'll end up making huge losses and you find yourself turning back to the normal farming. Also, number two, I want to clarify something here. For those farmers who say that using synthetic fertilizers is not organic, using fertilizers, it is organic. What differentiates organic and non-organic is the application of chemicals. Now, ensure that you save this video, ensure that you follow us at Farmworks Kenya, or visit our website farmworks.co.ke for more farming tips. Also, let us know how many projects or which farming project do you think if you invest on it will lead to losses? Or let me rephrase the question, which project have you ever invested on and make losses?